Are you seeing now my floating Safari window?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm sorry that it took me a bit longer than expected to set up this, but I'm showing you stuff on Photoshop, and that usually loads very slow with the memory. Um, First of all, I want you to have a reference how it was before the site, because we did some design updates, and I want to explain why that happened. One of the things that we hadn't before was the overall look and feel of the site. It was very flat, and it did not have enough depth. There was enough contrast on the elements. If I go, for example, here into my portal, you're gonna see that everything is grayish and soft, and it kind of blends all together, especially when you're working with the portfolio. And if I open the portfolio now, you're gonna see the new design. That's why I'm not opening. But I want you to remember what I'm talking about in terms of the color of the elements. The other thing that I want to talk about is that the fact that the navigation right now is being duplicated. So we land on this page by coming here, selecting my portal or selecting any of these, and then we land in a layout that pretty much repeats the same links. So we thought this was not a very smart use of the real estate and the navigation, so we tried to do some changes. I'm going to show you something completely new, and I'm gonna walk you through it. This is the new field of the My Portal page. One of the things that we're doing now is that instead of having the navigation being repeated, this being duplicated in this section is now vertical over here. Is the equivalent of this, just in a collapsed manner. So you will jump, tap, 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 tap through every section, like the portfolios, the reviews, the opportunities, the notification center, the special settings for the user account. And we now use a texture. It looks like a bluish folder paper background that help us to create more contrast. I'm sorry about that. So we are trying to add more contrast in the design, to be more visually attractive for students, and to help focus the areas by making this more darker. Your attention is focused more in this area over here. We are also changing the way these are going to be presented, and in more like a stack feel. I'm going to show you the look of the portfolio layout. Portfolio layout, as you remember, it was before exactly like this, just grayish on the side, and it was grayish here. But this area has been completely redesigned. And one of the things that we are going to be doing is creating stacks for the snapshots. You see this thing? These are the different lists of the snapshots. They're going to be placed on a stack. So as you move through them, they're going to expand down. So it makes the application look more interesting and is more interactive for the user. It's more visually appealing. In terms of what you're going to be currently seeing today, which this is not going to get implemented, we're going to be showing the editor and the new styles for the editor. And we're going to be seeing the elements of the editor with containing boxes, and also is appearing. That is Photoshop being slow. So this element over here is what you saw before on previous spring reviews, where you saw the different tools on here that you will drag them over the side to add elements to your workspace. Well, now we have created a bar that is fully movable, and the user has it at their fingertip every time they want. Is very interactive. You can move it around, you can flip it, we will show that to you. It also allows for, in the future, we will have more interesting content on the bar when you can directly access to your media. But then we have the elements that appear here on this section, which is the exact section that you're seeing here. It's just being populated now with the media center. Belongs to the same style. and is more clean, more simple, more minimalistic. It has more like an intuitive UI design. For example, I'll show you what I mean. Specifically, the way the search works now, you would navigate through groups of them by clicking in the arrow, but if you want to perform a search, you will move over the search icon and that will expand and bring in the input field so you can just type in and search for specific image numbers or things like that. I'm going at it super quick. Usually we would prefer to show you actual things are built, but I wanted to give you a background of why we changed the design, why there's a new update, and the overall thinking behind that. If you have any questions, please ask. I know I just went at it. Please ask me any questions. What you are seeing here, this is just overall Photoshop markups for future functionality that we will implement on the site ideally. Some of them you will see them today. Like this, for example, is very cool. The idea is that the user can drag it around, they're typing, they're doing the stuff, and you're gonna see this being live today. We work on this specific area, camera and I, and with Andrew we work on the implementation of the media center. And we believe this new style makes the overall feel of the application more clean to the user, and it creates more focus to the working area by creating a construct here and a contrast here. Your eye will focus more in the area you were supposed to be working. Another cool thing about this layout, I'll show it to you now, is that you can apply skins. And the skins is when the user comes in and say, well, you know, I don't like this blue folder background. I want something more personal. So we're going to develop certain skin types that we will allow the user to implement, like this woodish background, just very easy to implement. If you remember on the previous sprint, I talked about refactoring the entire CSS with Sass, and I said one of the reasons why that is so good is because it makes future things easier to implement. This is one of them. That is going to be more easier to implement the different theming of the portfolio and skins. So that's all for design.
Thank you, Aime.